welcome back to my channel. I'm Samantha Winona. This is Winona Reads. Today's video is going to be starting off with a mini book haul and then just a weekend reading vlog. I wanted to go into what I've read so far this month and some of the other recent purchases and recent ones that I've been gifted, and then just go into a reading vlog. I am in the middle of one book, and then I did an Instagram poll to see if I should choose between two different options. Either start Crescent City because the new one comes out this month, number 3, and I have books 1 and 2, so I'm nervous, but I do want to go ahead and start the series. So that is one of the options, or to go through my Kindle because I have so many saved that I have not gotten to, and so that is the other option, whether to cut down on my Kindle reads and kind of go through what I have saved or to read physical copies. But first things first, let's go ahead and jump into ones that I've recently purchased. I'm gonna start off with this series because I started it in December, and I'm not kidding, New Year's Day I binged the... Don't I have another one? Oh yeah, I was gonna say. I binged the newest one, and the 5th one comes out sometime in February. I think it's like around Valentine's Day, and I'm so excited. I love the series. I get why it's so hyped up right now, and that would be the Magnolia Parks Daisy Hates series. I love it, first of all. Second of all, is it Hates? I'm gonna say Hates because that's how I've been saying it in my head. But yeah, Magnolia Parks. I don't love these covers, but it is all that they had in my local bookstore. But what had happened was I started this in December before Christmas, and I read it in like 3 days, and I was like, oh my gosh, so good, I have to continue. So then I went to the bookstore and I got these two and again, so good. Flew through them, and they, like, you know, typical series, they get bigger as they go. And then this one I started it on New Year's Day and finished it New Year's night. I finished it in less than 24 hours, probably 12 hours, and which, I mean, isn't bad. It was like 500 pages, so they are just so good. This is one of the series that I feel like you read it and you're just so into the characters and the storyline that, like, I would read like 50 pages like that and I'd be like, oh my gosh, like, it just, you fly through them. They're so good. So Magnolia Parks, I don't want to go into too much detail. Magnolia Parks, it's a UK series, and she is from, you know, a wealthy waspy community. And her ex-boyfriend BJ is from, you know, the same community. They all went to like a boarding school together, and it's kind of like found family within your friends because their families were kind of shitty. And so all of the friends are, you know, bougie and just, you know, wear all the different labels, all the different titles. They hang out at all the hot spots. They're always in the paper. And so it does give that like kind of Gossip Girl-esque in the sense of outfits, styling, and like the community, but it's, I wouldn't say it's like, so it is definitely dramatic, but it's not gossipy. So there is the drama of, you know, exes and love triangles and crime. There is also just a dynamic of like finding out who you are within relationships, and I think that's like the effortless part of it. I think, you know, the dramatics that are involved as you go through the series and get further into like the relationships and the complications, you really start to understand, you know, some of the traumas that have happened and reasons why they are the way that they are, which just builds the story into something so much better. Like, you know, obviously book 1 and 2, Magnolia and then Daisy, like, it's surface level, and then, you know, the next 2 that come out are the next step. You know, what happened in the relationship besides BJ cheating on Magnolia, or why Daisy is the way that she is. Like, there's just more in depth and more perspective as each book comes, and I just Loved it. Loved it, loved it. I cannot recommend it enough. I recommended it to so many people already, so I do get the hype. And then after that, because I loved her writing so much, I did go ahead and pick up Never by Jessa Hastings. And this is a little bit different. This is like a Peter Pan retelling, you know, meeting of Peter Pan through Wendy's family, and it's down to Daphne, the youngest in the generation, or youngest in the familial like line, I guess. And they usually meet Peter Pan around the same time, or same age, every woman in their adolescence. Daphne hasn't met him yet, and the years go on, and she's like, okay, maybe it's just skipping me, maybe something happened to him, it's just, you know, over. And obviously I think it's not over. She does end up meeting him, so this is definitely going to be interesting. I thought this was going to be a standalone, but this is labeled on Goodreads as #1, I believe. So I'm wondering if this is also going to be a series. Again, her writing is very devourable, and I just feel like if you come off of a series or a book that kind of leaves your head spinning for a little bit, her writing is so easy to get into. Like, you would not end up in a book slump if you started one of these, and you would just fly right through it. It is the Friday before Martin Luther King Day, and my kids have a superintendent's conference or something, so they have the day off, which is a 4-day weekend, which is overwhelming for me. I feel like I always try to like get these done, and I either have no, like, I had other plans today, which is why, I mean, I would not say this is ready, but like my makeup is done and my hair is a little bit nicer than normal, so it made me want to film. But like most of the days I am just so in mom mode and don't have enough time to either get ready or even have the attention span to sit down and do something like this. So I'm like trying, but it is very difficult when they are home and want to be rambunctious. And yes, so we are going to try to go to the park to get some energy out in a little bit, but excuse any noises that you hear because it is just chaos today. Another one that I bought for myself was Betty. This one has been on my TBR for quite a while. I actually don't know when this came out, but I know it was recent. I want to say maybe last year. 2020. So not too old. This says, born in a bathtub in 1954 to a white mother and a Cherokee father, Betty inhabits a world of poverty and loss in lush landscapes and blazing stars. Despite the hardships she encounters, Betty is resilient. Her curiosity about the natural world, her fierce love of her sisters, and her father's brilliant stories are kindling for the fire of her own imagination in the face of all to which she bears witness, the horror of her family's past and present. She begins to write. I haven't heard much about this in the sense of plot. I don't know much more, like, as far as what horrors her family had in the past. But I have seen this on a lot of people's either mentionables or favorites of the last couple of years, so I did want to go ahead and pick this up, and I do love this cover. There are a couple of different ones, but I like this one the best, so I did go ahead and get that off of Amazon the other week. And then I also picked up this one because I've seen a lot of people read this recently as well, and it has been on their favorites list as well, and that is Eliza Clark's Penance. So from the same author that wrote Boy Parts, this comes a chilling, brilliantly told story of murder among a group of teenage girls. On a beach in a rundown seaside town of Yorkshire coastline, 16-year-old Joan Wilson is set on fire by 3 other schoolgirls. Nearly a decade after the horrifying murder, journalist Alec has written the definitive account of the crime, drawn from hours of interviews with witnesses and family members, painstaking historical research, and most notably correspondence with the killers themselves. The result is a riveting snapshot of lives rocked by a tragedy in a town left in turmoil. I mean, this just sounds very intense. I have seen so many people talking about it recently. This one was gifted to me, and I don't remember if I hauled it or not, so I did want to go ahead and haul it. And is that even the right, like, what, a verb to haul it? I wanted to show it. The Bone Shard Daughter by Andrea Stewart. And this has been recommended quite a bit. I have heard a couple of people mention it after they read the series. I think there's a couple in this series. And it's blurred by Sarah J Maas, so that's kind of high praise. In an empire ruled by bone shard magic, the former heir to the emperor will fight to reclaim her magic and her place on the throne in a stunning epic fantasy debut. The dynasty has ruled the Phoenix Empire for over a century, their mastery of bone shard magic powering the monstrous constructs that maintain law and order. But now the emperor's rule is faltering and the revolution is sweeping across the empire's many islands. Trapped in a palace of locked doors and secrets, Lynn is the emperor's daughter but not his heir. Her childhood memories have been erased by a mysterious illness. The only way to reclaim her birthright and overthrow her despotic father is to master the art of the very bone shard magic that his subjects fear. I don't know why that took so long, but that does sound interesting. And kind of a new concept. Like, you always hear of like the female character kind of like rising in power and gaining that strength and the momentum and like being a force, but you really don't ever hear of like an illness or especially like not an heir. So sounds really good. One of the other ones I did pick up was I'm a Fan by Sheena Patel, and I have also read this one as well. So this was another one that I saw on, I want to say it was Jack's YouTube channel, and I believe it was one of his favorites of the year. I didn't love this necessarily as much, but it does leave you questioning a lot and thinking about it a lot. This was a woman who, I wouldn't even call it a love triangle. She was in an affair with a married man who he had many affairs going on, and she had a boyfriend at the time who ended up finding out, and they separated because that he found out that she was going to meet this person. But the other guy had multiple affairs going on, multiple different countries, and ended up like sort of pushing her away in the sense of there wasn't like a sexual connection anymore. It went from like a full-on affair to he kind of got in touch with her but like didn't want to sleep with her, and she was like searching the other, this is like the fan part that comes in, I guess. She was searching the other women, especially the one that like, I don't know, she just had like some sort of attraction to, not in the sense of like thinking she was good looking, but like an attraction, like compulsive, like she needed to know what this lady was doing all the time. But there was so much underlying within this that makes you question it after you're done reading it. Like the plot itself, to me, it was so monotonous and frustrating and redundant, and like halfway through I'm like, this isn't going anywhere. I feel like I could stop reading here and the ending would be just the same as what I've already read. Like, it just kept repeating itself. I'm like, okay, nothing is changing here. But I think that frustration is the point. There is, you know, underlying hints of feminism and obviously adultery, but commentary on like social media, and there's just a lot packed into it. But I feel like you have to, not that you have to look for it, you just have to look past what you're supposed to be looking at, I guess, if that makes sense what I'm trying to say. Like, here's the plot, you're supposed to be focused on them having an affair and then her boyfriend finding out, and then this like weird step with her parents that was talked about, and then like moving on, and you're supposed to be focused on her, right? But then there's all this stuff around, you know, like the social construct, how social media, like she's a fan, no, she's obsessive over this one person, she keeps refreshing stuff, and there's so much around it, and I think that's the purpose of it. Like, it's almost chaotic if you're not focused in on the character, but the character herself is so frustrating to read, and it like almost reads like if you have a friend who, you know, is going through something similar like that and they're just harping on the same moment over and over again. That is how this read. Like, it was just so not for me. But I did appreciate the, I mean, I did tag it, so I did appreciate like the, you can't see it, the like dynamics that were involved. But it was just like when I got to probably like 70%, I'm like, okay, like there's nothing else happening. I just thought, I don't know what I thought, I just thought it would be more than that, I guess. I thought there would be like more of a substantial plot. I thought something was going to happen. My book of the month that I picked, First Lie Wins. I have seen this all over the place, and at first like I looked at the picks and I was like, you know what, I really don't want to pick one this month. I think I might skip the month. None of these are really calling out to me. I've seen a couple of them picked by, you know, other booktubers, but it's not something that I've seen like ahead of time where I'm like, okay, I really, really want that one. So I let it sit for, you know, a week or two. It's the second week of January. I let it sit for a day or two. And I was like, okay, you know what? Everyone is talking about this one, and all the reviews that I've seen say it's really, really good. And the last time I did this, it was for, I can't remember the book, but the last time I had waited on one, oh, none of this is true. The last time I had waited on one, it was a thriller, and I saw everybody reading it and I was like, okay, I'm gonna give it a try, and it turned out really well. So I did go ahead and pick First Lie Wins. It has been all over. I mean, Reese Witherspoon has picked it for her book club, but I also think there's talk about like making it into a film. I'm pretty sure I saw the author talking about it. So I am interested to see where it goes. It's not necessarily on my like want to pick it up, you know, after what I'm reading right now, but I do think I would rather get to this sooner than later, just because it has been such a hot topic of conversation. This is the one that I wanted to read in 2024, and I am so excited that I got it. We had gone to a date to this bookstore and they didn't have like any newly released stuff, and I like walked in and was like, I'm so bummed. Like, we got a coffee and a drink and like an appetizer and we sat for a little bit, but I was like, it would have been so nice to like have like a stack picked out, and it was just like, I think they just hadn't gotten their order in yet. I didn't even ask. I just ended up going to Barnes & Noble after and being like, okay. It was right in front of me. I was so excited. But this is Asha Lemmy's new one, and I already talked about this a little bit in my last video, but long story short, the main character believes that her dad is Ernest Hemingway, and she's trying to follow his story all around different continents or countries, I guess, to figure out who this man is, if it is in fact him, but really just getting that sense of like familial history and, you know, finding out who you are, what your past is. And then, are we ready? We're not ready. I did go ahead and get book 2 because we're doing it. We are doing it. So now I have book 1 and book 2 of Crescent City, and book 3 comes out at the end of this month. So, holy cow. We are going to be getting into this soon. I am excited, nervous, scared, overwhelmed, ready. The other one is sitting right here. I mean, just look at these. First of all, I love the primary colors we got going on, but like, that's a lot. I did go ahead and start this. This was one of my January picks for the month, The Beauty of Your Face. I am halfway through, and oh my god, this is definitely going to be 4 to 5 stars for me. I haven't read a story like this before. Just insanely moving. It does have trigger warnings for a school shooting. There is also racism within this. The main character is Arabic and her family, and a lot of stuff happens. There's dual timelines. I haven't even finished yet, but the amount that is unpacked in the first like 70 pages of this, like, I cannot recommend this enough, and I haven't even finished it. I kid you not, I was like telling people, you need to add this to your TBR if you haven't read it already. This is one of the ones I would say like have a category of culturally diverse fiction, and you know, You guys, I am just not winning today. My card said that it was full, so I went through and deleted stuff super fast, and I just deleted the video that I took of my kids doing their New Year's countdown. I'm really bummed right now. That sucks. I don't even remember what I was gonna say. But yeah, I highly recommend this book. Oh, what I was saying before, I have like a list of like culturally diverse fiction. 50 Words for Rain would be on it. This would be on it. There's a couple others like Against the Loveless World. Just really powerful pieces, so highly recommend this. I do want to finish that hopefully today and then start something else tonight, and I'm gonna see what my Instagram poll is at right now. So 50-50, either read/cut down on Kindle books or Crescent City. So we'll see what that ends up as. But I do have a couple in NetGalley, and I also have a couple saved on here. I have Husbands and Lovers by Beatrice Williams, Shanghai Landers, Two Twisted Crowns, but that is the second book in the series, and I haven't read the first yet. Bright Young Women by Jessica Knoll, who I have seen so many people recommend as well, saying it's like a 4- and 5-star read, so I do want to get to that. I have the Tommy Orange second book that comes out in a couple months. I have the Book Club Hotel by Sarah Morgan. I have Love Redesigned by Lauren Asher. I have Same Time Next Year by Tessa Bailey. I have a bunch on here that I want to get to. So we will see what comes up, what wins on the Instagram poll. But I will vlog a little bit this weekend, and I will update you in a little bit. Sunday comfies. As you can see, I never wear socks, but I am just in the comfy mood today. Matching outfit, scrunchie. We are in a reading vibe finally. It has been a long time since I have filmed, since I have even read anything. We have had some things happen in the family, and I just wasn't able to focus on anything, so I haven't even picked up my books lately. But I am starting to get back into the swing of things, and today looks like spring outside. It is crazy how sunny and bright and pretty it is. So I wanted to do my February jar picks and also go over, I did film, I probably will add it to this video, I did go ahead and film before everything happened a mini haul of like just the recently purchased stuff that I have, and there was a book sale at the library a couple weeks ago, so I do have more stuff that I'm going to add. I can't tell if I should be closer or farther away because I feel like this camera just shows everything and I'm like, oh, I thought I had a cute look going, and now I'm like, this is just not it. Whatever. Anyway. I forget which one this is. Is this the author jar? Yes, it is. C.P. Zhang. I don't know who that is, actually. Oh, I'm lying. I know who that is. Wait, do I already have this book? Okay, I am so confused right now. However, okay, let me start over. C.P. Zhang is the author that I just picked. And so my author jar is supposed to be books that I have more than one, or authors that I have more than one book, to see if I can like get some of the reading down and figure out who my favorite authors are. And so C.P. Zhang wrote The Land of Milk and Honey, which I recently got, and I did try to start, but I just wasn't in the mood for it, so I did put it back down. But the other thing that they wrote is How Much of These Hills is Gold, and I didn't have this before. I just picked it up from my library book sale. So I'm hoping that I didn't already have this on my shelves. I'm so confused. I will have to look. But I only just got this like last week. So anyway, that is the author for this month. Let's go ahead and... There's more dust coming off of this. This happens every time. Alright, first pick is a hair. And then... Ooh, Assassin's Apprentice. I think by Robin Hobb. Assassin's Apprentice is the first pick. And I don't even know what that is about, honestly. I just got it from Reagan at Peruse Projects. What is in this thing? It's getting dirt everywhere. Oh my gosh. A Little Life. I honestly was not expecting that, so... Yikes. That makes me nervous. Alright, one more. Ooh, Atonement. I have not read that yet. That would be fun to read and then watch the movie. Okay, so those are my 3 picks. Let me see if I can find them. Okay. So we have Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb. And it says, the kingdom of the 6 duchies is on the brink of a civil war when news breaks that the crown prince is fathered a bastard son and is shamed into abdication. The child's name is Fitz and he is despised. Raised in a castle stables, only the company of the king's fool and the ragged children of the lower city, his unusual affinity with animals will provide him any comfort. To be useful to the crown, he is trained as an assassin. Interesting. So this is one of... I'm going to go out on a limb, I'm assuming, because she praises it so much, but this is one of Reagan over at Peruse Project, her favorite authors. And she has like the whole series and other series. This is like a huge... I think it's fantasy. Yeah, look at how many series this author has. So many. So I am excited for this. I was not expecting this. This is something that I wouldn't necessarily say I'm in the mood for. Oh, there's magic in here too. Well, interesting. That's a different pick. Then we have Atonement by Ian McEwan. And I actually don't know what this is about. I picked this up at a used library sale as well years ago, years and years ago, back when my daughter's room had my bookshelf in it. So that's like when we bought the house, so 6-7 years ago. And this says it is about love, war, childhood and class, guilt and forgiveness. On a day in 1935, 13-year-old Bryony witnesses a flirtatious Flirtation between her older sister and the son of a servant, her incomplete grasp of adult motives, and her precocious imagination bring about a crime that will change all of their lives. I'm definitely down to do like a read it with me and then watch the movie, so that would be fun to like kind of get back into the swing of vlogging. I'm not ready for this. I already know I'm not ready for it, but I also feel like I might be in the mood a little bit for such an emotional book because we've had so much emotional stuff going on. I feel like maybe I could use a good cry, but this makes me nervous. This is A Little Life. It is over 740 pages. Give me your thoughts. Is this a good one? I know it's highly talked about and it is a little bit controversial. Some people say the point of it is just to make you cry, but some people have been so invested in it. So I'm definitely curious to give those a try. And then the author, okay, so C.P. Zhang. I finally picked this up. I definitely didn't have this at first. Maybe it was my intention to get it. But this is in 2 parts. It says, Ba dies in the night, Ma is already gone. Newly orphaned children of immigrants Lucy and Sam must flee the brutality of their remote town at the edge of an expanding country. They set off to bury their father in the way that will set them free from their past. Along the way they encounter buffalo bones, tiger paw prints, and the specters of a ravaged landscape, as well as family secrets, sibling rivalry, and glimpses of a different kind of future. Interesting. I do know that I'm not used to the writing style, or at least I wasn't when I started Land of Milk and Honey, so I think it'll take me a minute to get into, but so many people especially talk about this one. Let me see. This is The Land of Milk and Honey, and I haven't seen too many people talk about it yet. I did start it, and I only ended up on chapter 2, so I will go ahead and start that over. But this one was about an uber rich community and being a chef at like this edge of the world place. But yeah, the writing style is definitely something that like you kind of have to adapt to, so and then I am currently reading an arc from NetGalley of the Rom-Commers by Catherine Center. I have read, I don't think I've read all of her stuff, but I've read the last maybe 3 recent ones that she's put out, and I love her writing style, so I was super excited that they gave me a chance to read it. So I did actually start it last night. We were waiting for our table to be called at dinner. It was like a half an hour wait, so I downloaded it to my Kindle on my phone, and so I do want to get back into this. I'm only 4% in, but I'm so excited for that one. And that is about, were they high school sweethearts? I don't think so. Maybe a high school boyfriend. He chose career over their relationship, I think, and he's been helping her with jobs since, as like sort of a sorry for leaving you, I guess. And she has an opportunity to work with this highly praised director, I want to say, or screenwriter. She is a screenwriter, so she's like ghostwriting for him, and that her ex had given her the job. So I don't know, it sounds confusing when I say it, but so far it's very like right off the bat super interesting. I'm excited to see where that goes. Maybe they rekindle a romance or something happens, I don't know. And then I am 173 pages into The Wildest Sun by Asha Lemme. I've been slowly chipping away at this. It is very different than 50 Words for Rain, and I'm trying not to compare the two because I know they're standalone pieces. It's just very different from how I felt reading 50 Words for Rain, but nonetheless it is still a very interesting plot line, and I don't necessarily feel as connected to the character. Maybe that's why it's taking me a little bit, but I also, you know, like I said, had a bunch of stuff going on and I just wasn't invested or focused. And so this weekend I have picked it up and definitely gotten more through it. It's a very easy writing style and the story is definitely good. I just am slowly getting back into things, so far I do recommend this. I just don't know how it's gonna end, and I like that I just don't have a prediction yet. Well, I say that. I do have a prediction. So in this, I don't think this is very spoilery, but in this, she is looking for her father, who she thinks is a famous author. And I have a feeling that she is going to find him and be let down like everybody thinks. That's my prediction. But I still have, I think, like 100 pages, maybe a little bit more than 100 pages to go. So we will see. I am going to make some progress with these today. Before I get off of here, I did, my camera's gonna die soon, but I did want to go over the other recent purchases that I got from the used book sale. This one I was super excited to see because it has been on my Amazon wish list for a little bit, and I was like surprised that I could get it for 50 cents at the used book sale. The Art of Hearing Heartbeats by Jan Philip Sunker. And I don't want to go into too much detail because, like I said, my camera is dying, but I'm not going to go into the plot. I'll just read what the captions are at the bottom. It says, it is a magical and uplifting tale of hardship, resilience, and unyielding power of love to move mountains. And then I also got, this could use a little Clorox wipe. It's a little bit dirty, but I got The Gown by Jennifer Robson, which I've seen on Instagram, but I haven't seen any reviews or recommendations or star ratings. So I'm wondering how interesting this is, but this is dual timeline, London 1947 and Toronto 2016. Has to do with obviously the royal family. So that is very intriguing, and I did love The Crown, so I wonder if it has like similar vibes. It kind of seems like it would only be focused, it says a novel of the royal weddings, so I feel like it's only focused on the couple, but this is funny too. I knew I did this. I already have this from a different used book sale haul, but now I have it in paperback, so I've been thinking about starting a Pango Books account to sell some of my older stuff, and now that I have a second copy of this, I think I'm going to have to. This is Adriana Trigiani, The Good Left Undone, and I have it in hardcover right behind me, so that was a mistake on my part. I guess I'm very excited to read that. Another one, which is basically brand new, which is why I love going to this book sale, The Forest of Vanishing Stars by Kristen Harmel. I keep seeing this author everywhere and I want to give her a try, so I wanted to pick something up. I haven't read anything by her, I don't believe. I think she just came out with something new, but she has over a dozen novels, and I just keep seeing her name everywhere, so I wanted to give her a try. And this one is 1942, World War II era, Jewish refugee groups. So it definitely upped my interest. I love reading World War II historical fiction. Let me know if you've read this or if you've read her other books, because I'm hoping that I like her writing style, I should say. This is one of the kids' books, but I thought it was super cute, so I wanted to haul it too. The Land of Roar by Jenny McLaughlin. I think that's it. And again, great condition. It's basically brand new. And this is a world filled with ninja wizards, mermaids, unicorns, dragons. It just sounds super cute. I've been wanting to like pick something small to start reading to my boys at night, because they are starting to learn in kindergarten. They're learning a lot of like the basics, you know, trying to put sentences together. So they're getting there, and obviously this would be too big for them to read, but I thought to like read to them at nighttime and see how well they can kind of retain the information by listening to it. I thought would be interesting. And then I did participate in a Galentine's book, what would you call it, raffle, book sweepstakes, and I was gifted from Alexis the Fragile Threads of Power by V.E. Schwab, which means I now have to also read the trilogy. I haven't read Shades of Magic yet, so now that I have this is calling to me, telling me that I need to read it. So I'm excited for this. I didn't realize that it's like a marble inside cover. These pages are like buttery soft. So cool. But I haven't read V.E. Schwab in so long, and I did like a couple of months ago really want to reread Addie LaRue. And then I was like, well, I shouldn't be rereading her stuff until I've read the stuff that is already on my list. So just so much to read, so little time. You know what I mean? I also am going to be picking up The Women by Kristen Hanna is our book club pick for February. I'm going to leave the link down below if you would like to join. We do a virtual discussion and group meeting at the end of the month. That is going to be our pick for February, so I need to get that one. The Crescent City 3 just came out and I do want to get that, but I also have to restart Crescent City 2. I forget the name of it. It's on my nightstand. But I did start that and I got like 300 pages in, and I just realized I wasn't retaining the information because of everything that was going on. So I completely like took my bookmark out, restarted the audio. I'm starting that from scratch as well. But I do want to pick up the third one just to have it. And then the next Magnolia Parks comes out right before Valentine's Day, so I do want to pick that one up as well. I have a lot I want to get to, but let me know in the comments what your TBR is for February. If you have read any of these, I'm so interested to see which ones I'm going to like. I did only read 6 books in January, so this is kind of scary for me to have all of these. I think we can get it done. I'm a little worried about this one. This is the big one, but we'll see. Let me know if you have any favorites from these, and I will talk to you soon. Keep reading. Happy Valentine's Day. Have a good weekend. I'll see you soon. Bye.